What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. I apologize for the late video. I just got sidetracked doing some stuff. But the topic for today is how narcissists, actually it's a couple of things, how narcissists will use that grudge to ruin your moment. And I just wrote a couple of notes down last night. Also, I want to talk about how the narc co-worker is never satisfied with anything that you do in the workplace to kind of help them out a little bit with the workload. And the same thing goes for the narc boss. They're never pleased with your work. They never give you a kind word, never even a word of concern. Like, say, for instance, you come to work one day and they can kind of tell that something, something's not right, or, you just don't seem that same old. And a lot of times, I mentioned this before, it doesn't always necessarily means that something is wrong. But, they should just take into consideration that something is a little off with you. And they could call you in the office and ask you about it just to make sure that your day is going okay. They never do things like that. They never inquire about anything going on with your personal life, to make sure that it doesn't affect you at work. Narc bosses, they don't care about anything like that. And a narc coworker, they really don't care about you at work because, of course, they always put themselves in a position to play the boss, even though they're not the boss. And what I mean about how they will use that grudge, because of course they got that grudge on you. They're holding that grudge against you because you've gone no contact. And the only contact is, dealing with work itself. Other than that, the narcissist already knows that they're not going to get anything out of you. No type of conversation. Y'all remember I used to tell y'all on Fridays at work that we would wear the spirit shirt. And the narc has always been the one, even back when we were friends, to announce what color shirt we will be wearing on Friday, because it's different color shirts, spirit shirts as well as it is the regular uniform shirts. So the narc, we had started a group text, but with the fact that I have her blocked, she don't post anything in it anyway. But there is someone who posts a lot in the group text. And so the narcissist, she wants to make sure that everyone knows that this is just not something that she's into. She want to put that out there and make it known. I'm not into group texting. Now, that's to take away from the fact that helps with communicating with everyone all at one time, And the thing about it is, when they let you know that they excuse themselves from something, that kind of like they steps away from something that they know is effective in a positive way. They don't want to have anything to do with it because they didn't come up with the idea. And, they just kind of want to damper everyone else's day. They just never happy, never satisfied with anything. Anything that's going good, they want to ruin it. So if the narc didn't come up with the idea, they don't want to have nothing to do with it. And they're going to pretend like, oh, this, like it's just a messed up idea. Like, who came up with it? They become very critical. And it's so simple. If you don't want to have anything to do with it, then just don't. But you don't have to make an announcement. But the reason why they make announcements for things like that to exclude themselves is to get a reaction out of you, because they want you to beg and plead with them, to be a part of it. And another thing that they do is constant criticize. The same thing with the narc boss. Constantly criticizing you. Again, never a kind word. They never point out all the good things you do. Instead, they'll dig deep for something that you did years ago, and they'll bring it up on a daily basis to you. Like if they're saying this is something you do on a regular, they'll bring that up. Like, make sure you don't do this. And you're looking confused. Like, what are you talking about? You remember that time? You're talking about something that happened like 3 years ago, and you're saying, remember that time you did that. Narcs do evil things like that because they want you to constantly remember your screw ups. They don't want you to be proud of yourself, because they're damn sure not going to show how proud of you they are. They're never going to give you a pat on the back. So that's why it's necessary to always be proud of yourself and give yourself a pat on the back, because the narc will never do that. If they do it, it's going to be fake, and they're going to do it in front of people. But when it's just the two of you together, the narc is going to go back to being the same old evil way of abusing you, one-on-one, and devaluing you and criticizing you. Now, they're not going to always do it in the front of a crowd, but a lot of times they still do it in front of a crowd because they're just assholes like that. Another thing that narc co-workers do is this. Everyone works together. Everyone works together doing pretty much the same task. Everyone knows what the other person have to do. And if they're not there, then you fill in for that person for the day. But with the narcissist, when you're the fill-in person, it's like they're constantly looking for something else to add on to your to-do list. It's like they want to work the hell out of you. They want to see you smoke. They get a reaction out of seeing you work under pressure. And they do that because they're looking for a reason to criticize you at something, the first little screw up. Even if you never screw up anything, they're still going to find something to complain about that you do that you could have done better. That's what the narc co-workers do. And it's like when you're assisting them, your assistance may be much better than what they have ever had before, any other help that they've ever had. But they're going to constantly try to pile it up on you. You know, that's just something that I noticed that they do. It's like they just want you to feel stressed. They want you to break. They need that reaction out of you just so you can show them that maybe I'm not all that tough. But it's like this. I roll with the punches. And I don't care. You know, you have to let the narc know that it doesn't matter how they feel about you, because that's just a narcissist way of thinking. They're going to always be critical. They're going to always hate you, hate on you. You know, they're some of the biggest haters, and they're really going to be jealous of you. So they're jealous of the way you move at work. They're jealous of your work ethic. They hate the way you have all your work cut off for you. You knock it out like a boss and you move on with the day. They hate to see that. And they hate that you don't complain. You make it look so easy. Even though you may be having a hard day, you may be stressed, but you're not wearing it on your shoulder. Even if you do, it's understandable. But when you don't, the narc hate that. They're ready to see you crack. And so I noticed working with the narc, and I could roll with them, and they know this. They know I'm a beast with it. It's like they're still waiting to see you. They just need you to just burst out loud and just say something to let them know, look, you're getting to me. And I'm not going to give her that satisfaction. It's like they always throw up these things, like they say stuff like, you got to toughen up. You know, not saying that to me, but it's just something that I noticed with my work. It's like they quick to say things like, you got to toughen up. And I'm like, toughen up with a job like this? Y'all act like this is the military or something. It's not that serious. Why should someone have to toughen up? It's not about toughen up. It's about respect. It's about respecting someone's workspace, respecting the way a person works, and understanding that everyone doesn't work alike. Everyone doesn't work at the same pace. But as long as the work get done in a timely manner that it needs to, that's all that matters. That should be the only concern with anyone. That's what separates a normal person who you work with from a narc coworker. Is because they want to constantly pressure you with things and remind you of something that needs to be done, always in a hurry, just to constantly bother you. And then they like to throw up this, you got to toughen up thing. I've heard the narc say this to people like, no one should have to toughen up. Again, this is not the military. This is not basic training. You know, it's about respect at the end of the day. We should all respect each other. And stop putting people in a competition. It's not a competition. This is one team, one mission. If we all work together, we'll get the work done effectively. It shouldn't have to be, you know, this person moves faster than this person. And you don't even have to have the work completed at a certain time. So it's like, just stop using it as an excuse to drill me. That's what narcs do. So that's just something I wanted to point out with narc behavior in the workplace, dealing with the coworkers and the bosses. It's been a very stressful week for me, and I haven't felt this way in a long time. Last week, I really went through it. Y'all probably can tell in my videos. But this week, you know, it was another tough week, but it just made me go harder. It's like the more you come at me, the more I just go harder. Like, I'm not about to battle you. I'm not about to go back and forth with you. I'm going to come there and do what I got to do and go on with my day. And it's nothing that they can do about it to change you. If anything, you hold the power in your hand to prove to the narcissist, you don't bother me. Obviously, I bother you, or you wouldn't keep coming at me on a daily basis the same way. Because they need to see you break. But don't ever give them that satisfaction. And the last thing is, again, they like to clock everything you do just to make sure that you benefit them. Like, they need you to move faster at your own workload, you know, finish up your stuff, to hurry up and come and help me. But they will never do that for you. And then at the same time, in the same breath, they talk behind your back and shoot you to other people and tell them, you know, they could be doing this for me and they could be doing that for me. And it's like, why? I don't owe you anything. See, the narc always feels like that you should be some type of assistance to them. And it's crazy because you never want their assistance. You never want their help because you don't want to be around them. You know, they need you to need them. And you'll never feel that way. And that's what kills them. Yeah. And so the very, very last thing that I want to talk about, just aside from all of that kind of stuff, is just be strong. Just be strong, because one thing you know for sure is that the narcissist is a lie. The narc main goal is to destroy you because you don't fall for the lies that they tell. You're not going to fall for the tricks. You know who the real person is under the mask. You know that it's only a matter of time before the mask slips. You know this. You know the truth about them. The thing is to just be strong, keep pushing through, you know, do the best that you can. Don't kill yourself doing it. And don't explain yourself to a narcissist, because you don't owe them an explanation for anything. They want you to think that. Just keep moving at your own steady pace and doing the best that you can, because you're not working for the narcissist. You may work with the narc, but you don't work for the narc. They don't own a company, business, or anything. They're just there. Now, if you find yourself in a situation working in a toxic, working in a toxic workplace, and you know that the narc has some type of ownership, I advise you to get out of it and find something else to do, because you're going to always be stressed out. I mean, who would want to put themselves through something like that? And I know that's easier said, if that's the only option available at the time, but try your best to find something else to do. Narcissists, they always want to put themselves in a lead position, call the shots, be the boss. No one made you the boss. They have a problem with everyone working together good, and they want to ruin it because it's working out, and it's working out with you in the midst of the chaos that they try to create. It's working out with you, and you're getting along, and everybody's happy, and the day goes by good without the narc. It's like you're giving the narc an option to be there, but you're not going to control anything. And when it comes to that point, they don't like that. They don't like that, so they step away. They disappear. And take it to the highest court. That's my advice to you. Take it to the highest court. You can lie on me. You can smear my name all you want to. You can try to make me feel bad, try to embarrass me and just triangulate all you want to and turn these folks against me. I don't care what the narc says, and I don't care what the people says. I tune it out. You got to tune it out and continue doing what you're doing. Because if they're not willing to take it to the highest court and challenge you, like give you a chance to explain, for what it's worth. And I'm talking about the outsiders, because the narc is not going to do this. The narc have the people right where they want them, right where they need them to be. But if the people doesn't ever think that there comes a time where I'm going to have to ask this person about all of this, is this true? That's what I mean about take it to the highest court. You're going to have to do it with me, because if not, I'm going to continue to do what I do and tune it out. And that's just that on that. Like, I do not think too much into it anymore. I have just kind of trained my thoughts to just not take it personal. And I don't. And that kills the narcissist when when you just don't care what they do. Like, you see it and you don't see it. You hear it and you don't hear it. It puts them in a position to where they're running out of options. They're running out of ideas. That's when they disappear for a while, just to come up with more things to do, because they're very calculated. Very calculated. And so, again, let them take it to the highest court. Other than that, don't try to prove yourself. Plead with the narc. Get them to understand your side or the people around them. Don't say nothing. Just keep quiet and do what you do. Because as long as they continue to believe everything the narc says, sooner or later, pressure bust pipes. They're going to want to ask you something, to the fact of finding out, is any of this stuff true that they've been telling me? It's going to come. Either it's going to happen or it's not going to happen. But either way it goes, don't let it make or break you. And that's just my message for the day at the end of this video. I want to thank y'all for watching. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.